Turkey earlier on at Westminster Hall today. So, Mr. Speaker, at the outset, I should like to emphasise to the right honourable gentleman, but also to the House, that the UK government is acutely aware of its and our enduring responsibilities to Hong Kong. We were a joint signatory to upholding the joint declaration between the UK and China some 35 years ago. This joint declaration is, of course, lodged with the United Nations. As such, we remain absolutely committed to monitoring and ensuring the faithful implementation of that joint declaration and indeed the principle of one country, two systems. I should like to reassure the House that we clearly and consistently raise our concerns with the Chinese and the Hong Kong authorities. Parliament is updated on developments in Hong Kong through our 6-monthly reports submitted by the Foreign Secretary, most recently indeed on the 27th of March, so just over a fortnight ago. We always stand ready to comment publicly and robustly where appropriate. Yesterday, the Hong Kong courts gave their first verdict on the 9 key figures in the Hong Kong Occupy movement. These protesters were arrested after large-scale protests in 2014. Yesterday, each was found guilty on at least one public nuisance offence. Now, such offences carry a maximum sentence of 7 years in prison. We shall have a better understanding of the severity of the sentence and therefore the signal that this purports to send to others who choose to exercise their rights under Hong Kong's Basic Law and the Bill of Rights once sentences are handed down. Sentencing is due on the 24th of April and the defendants have the right to appeal. It would therefore not be appropriate to comment further or in detail on those ongoing legal cases. Suffice to say that there is a very protracted, potentially protracted, legal process that may take a matter of years rather than months. Now, I have visited Hong Kong twice as a Foreign Office Minister and have held meetings with a number of senior legal figures. When I visited most recently in November last year, I raised the issue of the rule of law directly with the Deputy Chief Justice, as well as with representatives from the legal, political and business communities. All staunchly defended the independence of the judiciary, and it remains our position that Hong Kong's rule of law remains robust, largely thanks to its world-class independent judiciary. And many members will perhaps know that indeed Baroness Hale, Lord Hoffman and others are part and parcel of that overseas panel that is based in Hong Kong. Hong Kong citizens are guaranteed the right to freedom of assembly and demonstration under the Sino-British Joint Declaration of 1984 and indeed the Basic Law. And in a democracy, it is essential that these rights are properly respected. Hong Kong's success and its stability depend upon its high degree of enduring autonomy and indeed a respect for the fundamental rights and freedoms that are enshrined in the Joint Declaration and the Basic Law. The Foreign Secretary pronounced recently that he was concerned that on a civil and political freedom, Hong Kong's high degree of autonomy is now being reduced. It would, Mr. Speaker, be deeply concerning if this ruling discourages legitimate protest in the future or indeed discourages Hong Kong citizens from engaging in political activity.
Mr. Carmichael, can I